second?
Second.
So it's moved and seconded, so now we can say what we want to say. I happen to know who she is, but I want to instate a policy that requires a resume or a letter of intent from an interested party to our township manager or sent to a supervisor and then forwarded to a township manager to be sent to all of us so that we all know who we're voting on.
I think I said that last meeting.
You did. Is that unreasonable, Eric?
There's a motion I have
One more
Motion made
question.
for-
The guy you shoved down our throat for the store authority, we don't know how old he is, we don't know where he lives, we don't know what he does. Nothing. I've never heard of the man. But you shoved him down a guy's throat. I don't know how you can put that on, Tom.
I presented the name, there was a second, and then we voted on it.
What did you know about him?
I didn't have any names to propose.
Well,
Eric didn't call me about it, told me about him. And
Eric makes a lot of phone calls.
But nobody else had suggested any names either. I didn't know of any names.
Yes, we did. We had, Mr. Barnes' daughter-in-law,
Aaron.
who was very, very well qualified.
Who this board also received a resume for.
Yes, which the municipal authority wanted. That was one of the requirements.
Well, that's beside the point. The point is that she submitted a letter of interest. We all had the opportunity to review her resume, and yet she wasn't even considered, but because Eric made a behind-the-scenes phone call.
No. That's what she always says.
Like, that's what happened.
And she's, I guarantee her, Republican.
Well, I don't know if that's.
Pardon me?
I'll guarantee her Republicans.
Okay, so there's been a motion
So
and a
you can
second
move up
for
with
Kristy
aye and aye
Budavich.
right
All
now.
those in favor
You know?
signify by saying aye.
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 There's a follow-up to that as well,
No,
it could be,
Hold on. I'm sorry, I actually want to abstain from that vote until all resumes received. So,
I think.
you already know, so it's 3, 1, and 1.
so I would, in the same item there, I wanted to,
Wait, hold on,
utilize-
there's no, time out, there's no same item, so unless it's specifically related to the planning commission seat, then you'll have to wait till the end of the meeting to bring up something that's non-agenda related.
thank you.
38-2021, consider the purchase of 2 Ford SUV police vehicles for the approved 2021 budget. This is a co-stars purchase. These are budgeted items. This has always been the policy of the board to place the order. We pay for it when the vehicles are received. Sean, anything you want to?
I'll make the motion.
It's been moved and seconded already. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes right there. Apparently we didn't want to hear from you tonight. 039-2021, consider ordinance 1-2021, amending vesting provisions for the non-uniformed employees pension plan adopted December 30th, 1992 by ordinance 992 as amended by resolution 2601.
Yeah, I sent board members an email regarding this. This was an error that was picked up by the Auditor General in the auditing of our pension plans. Initially, the vesting schedule was altered by a resolution, and it needed to be done by ordinance. That's what this was.
Do I have a motion? I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
That's okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 40-2021, consider ordinance 2-2021, amending certain retirement provisions of the non-uniformed employees pension plan adopted December 30th, 1992 by ordinance 992 as amended by ordinance number 0300. Do I have a motion? This is a similar catch by the Auditor General.
I'll make a motion.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 041-2021, consider clarification language to Public Works Teamsters contract section for Part D to read, all employees hired prior to January 1st, 2021 are to receive 100% of the hourly rate. So for those of you who remember in their prior contract, there was a step leading up to 100% salary. It took a couple of years to get to 100% salary. That was changed in the new contract to just a 2-year step. It was brought to my attention by the Public Works Union that we inadvertently, by doing that, have employees who have been hired in the past who would actually make less than a starting employee because they're still on the old step. That was my fault. It was our mistake. It needs to be corrected so that we don't have employees making less than other employees. We just missed it in the contract negotiation. We missed it and they missed it. So it's an easy fix. We're gonna, if you vote on this, then we bump them up to what they should be making. So it's just a clarification in the contract that we voted on.
Is there any other clarifications, or what else did we miss? So you said we missed it?
It wasn't, we just didn't realize that there would be employees who would be left.
Should have had attorneys review it.
We did have a
I make a motion
They
to
wouldn't have
approve it.
caught that.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Vote
Who said?
opposed.
You're opposed to that?
Yeah.
4-1. 042-2021, consider ordinance 3-2021 imposing truck operation restrictions upon Maple Lane, providing for issuance of permits, prescribing penalties for violations, providing for severability, repealing prior ordinances to the contrary, and establishing an effective date.
Any discussion?
Any comments, questions?
Yeah. Can anybody comment?
Yeah.
So Peters Township has studied Maple Lane, which leads from Route 19, as you're all aware, on road. If you're aware, there's a big hook in the road, a geometric issue. We're trying to get trucks to make that turnaround there. It goes through a residential neighborhood. I think their concern has been with the new expressway and the interchange being close by. The trucks will try to shortcut through Maple Lane, on road to 7 and 9. So they proposed to Dawn, they came to them and had already done the study. They can control Maple Lane from Route 19 to the limit of their border. We have about 300 feet that they're asking us to impose the same restriction on, which makes sense. I was asked the question, what about traditions of America? Well, we did look to Maple Lane for traditions of America, but that for vehicles, truck and cars, to safely get out of there, and there will be improvements from County Road to Maple Lane. But that was mostly for vehicles trying to make left turns to go up the crossroads, that we didn't want them coming out over the bridge on Long Road, and on McMurray Road and trying to make the left there, which is sometimes can be very difficult to do. So Peters Township is looking strictly for trucks, and the cars are still going to be able to use Maple Lane. This is just to restrict the use of trucks. Mike Haberman, who's our traffic engineer, reviewed the study. He said that it's accurate. It's based upon several factors due to the roadway geometry. They call it road topology, the pavement conditions, and other factors. So they've done it in accordance with a PennDOT manual that you have to do to justify this restriction. So what they're asking us to do is just sign the road at the beginning to keep trucks from going onto it from, which would be the west side. So, the west side on, I guess it would be. Yeah, 79, I guess, opens up on the east and west. So that's what's been requested.
Good question. So now all the trucks will go by Traditions of America, and they will go over the bridge and up that steep hill there by McMurray Road?
Well, I think what we're trying to do is keep trucks from Route 19 to trying to shortcut to 79. So if they have to go down to McMurray, they can turn across our bridge, come all the way back up. It's not much of a shortcut at that point in time.
It would actually be the opposite of what Supervisors about is saying, will it not? Because who's going to want to take the road if it's not a shortcut to?
Right. Yeah.
To 79.
So at that point in time, you'd be better off just going all the way on McMurray Road and you can turn in that direction to get on So I personally don't have a problem with it. I mean, the issue comes up is Peters Township's doing what they want to do anyway. So if we leave the last 300 feet, then we could, we could have somebody driving that far and then having to turn around on our road if they go there by mistake. Let's say somebody does try to get out that way. They're not aware of it, they get so far down and they're trying to turn around on a portion of Cecil Township Road along Maple Lane, and where they're going to turn around, they can't ability to turn around. So you better restrict them at the turn, getting on Maple Lane if they'll try to do it.
Dan, you said 3 points that they evaluated, including evaluating the pavement. I know we don't have an issue on Baker Road with topography or a bad turn, but what was the criteria they used to evaluate the pavement?
Baker's State, isn't it?
No, our Baker Road.
Our piece of Baker Road,
Yeah.
to try to keep trucks off of
Well,
Baker.
yeah, they're gonna do the same thing, they're gonna do shortcuts straight over that, or Baker Road instead of staying on Georgetown Road out down to Morganza Road.
Yeah,
They're gonna shoot across from, usually looking Lawrence.
I don't know that we have the same geometry issues.
No, I know we don't have geometry issues, I just.
You have to meet a couple of the different criteria, like you can have pavement, but you have to have pavement in geometry or pavement in topology. I can check back on that.
But I know that they pay to have a cord to be able to say that pavement is insufficient. When we asked about Baker, we were told that the pavement was sufficient, so that we couldn't restrict it based on pavement stability.
Yeah, I assume that they did. I don't have a clue. I'm just reading Mike's memo, but I can check on that and get back to you.
We really have to, I mean, Baker's gonna be an issue for trucks taking a shortcut from 19 right to Hills, right up over Baker to get to that new turnaround, to get to either the toll road or the new interchange on 79.
You think?
I brought it up in the summer when I was addressed by it. And apparently it was, do you recall, Dawn, the reasons?
I thought we already looked at this and came to that conclusion that that would not be the case.
Well, no, I think we would. I think Dan or someone looked at it for us and said that the pavement was too substantial to use that criteria.
I can't remember exactly, Tom, but I'll revisit it. I don't want to speak out of turn.
I think you're talking about two separate, I think he's talking about two separate issues though. Whether or not we can actually do what Peters is asking us to do on Maple Lane and whether or not trucks will take a shortcut onto Baker Road, right?
Yeah, they're not going to go on Georgetown down all the way down Pasadowski's and come back up to the new interchange.
Well, why would they, I mean, unless trucks are in that area anyways, why would a truck be driving over there? The whole point of what Peters was trying to do is to keep trucks from driving, correct me if I'm right, Dan, from 79 to 19.
Right.
But like, if you're already in the area of Lawrence, you're gonna drive Baker Road regardless, that's not gonna add additional traffic. Keeping them from off of Maple Lane isn't gonna add additional traffic to Baker Road that wouldn't already be there.
No, they're not related. I'm not saying those are related at all. I'm just saying that we have that same issue on Baker, that trucks are going to be taking a shortcut from 19 to the new toll road and the new interchange, shooting up over Baker. That's a residential road of ours, instead of staying on Georgetown and go right down to Morganza.
But we had Mike look at that, didn't we?
Yeah, I can.
Right, we did, and I'm just saying that.
And he said no.
Because he said that the pavement was too substantial, but I don't remember them doing any more boards to be able to substantiate that, and to come up with a criteria that obviously Peters must have used to rate their pavement, to say one of the criteria the pavement design isn't good enough.
Tom, I think Peter's issue with Maple Lane was more of a geometric issue, I think that was the prevailing.
No, their goal was to keep the truck traffic off of the residential street.
Yeah, but I think there was I remember talking to Mike, we'd have to look at the study, but I thought it was more
It was
geometric.
geometry.
I thought it was more
Geometry is
geometric,
the
right?
main issue.
Also, they weren't worried about the trucks going through, taking a shortcut through residential neighborhood. It was just strictly worried about the safety.
No, I'm sure that's part of the issue, is they're using the PennDOT criteria to say we're not trucks on here, justified. And I hear what you're saying on Baker Road, I just don't recall the details. I'll text Mike during the meeting and find out what the issue
So
is.
do you wanna come back to this?
Yeah.
again?
Wait,